Year the entire month of Elul in honor of the Yom Nora and the Sosi of Chasim Torah for all of Klal Yisrael. By the Elbaum family, narration of the Yartzeit of Avram and Menachem ben Yitzchak Yehuda. We hope that in the merit of our Talmud Torah, the Neshama will have an Aliyah. And by Adam and Yehudit ben Zev, we're dedicating also the entire month of Talmud Torah and the Zechus of Ksiva B'Chasim Torah for all of Klal Yisrael. So let's begin. So today's daf is Ayin Gimel. A lot of beautiful Gemara to do today, but we're picking up actually on Ayin Beis Amud Beis 72b, and we are picking up with Amrav. We're about to do. It's a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 lines up from the bottom. Amrav Yehuda, Katan Arodev. If a Katan is running after someone, Chas v'Shalom, kill them. Nita Matzila B'Nafsho. Ultimately, again, you can kill the katan. In other words, I might have thought that since a katan ultimately is a lot of bar das, doesn't usually have requisite intent or requisite das, so that maybe you can't kill him as a din rodev. Kamashma, no, you can kill him as a rodev. Kasavar, rodev eno tzarach hasra, lo shnagad of lo shnakatan. I will say this is Rav Huna's shita, because Rav Huna holds that a rodev does not require hasra, doesn't require proper formal warning. As opposed to other cases where before you punish someone, they require hasra. A rodev does not require that, whether the rodev is a gadol or a katan. So if Christ is the kashet Rav Huna, Yatzarosh Shalin Nogin Bo, the fish in Dochen Nefesh Mepnei Nefesh. This is talking about a pregnant woman. So if a pregnant woman, if the pregnancy is causing her sakanas nefashos, so while the child is in utero, you can go ahead and take the life of the fetus in order to go ahead and save the mother. However, once the baby is birthed, in other words, and birth is defined by once the head comes out, then ultimately, again, you cannot take the baby's life in order to save the mother's life. Lefi she'ein dochen nefesh mipnei nefesh, because you can't take one life in order to save another life. So the Gemara says, but why not? Rodefu, the baby's a rodef. Right? The baby's actively putting the mother in sakana. To which the Gemara says, no. The baby's not the rodev. Shiny hasam, dimishemaya karad tefillah. It's not fair to call the baby a rodev, because in order to be titled a rodev, there has to be some level of intent, right? Again, this literally the Gemara says she's bishamayim rodev. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the rodev, kiviyachol, meaning this is happening from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The baby has no intent to put the mother in sakana. Maybe say this. Let's say that the following supports Rav Huna. Rodev shahay rodev achar chaver lahargo. We'll say if there was someone running after his friend to kill him. Okay, not his friend, but okay, someone running after someone else to kill him. Amar, we say to the rodev, Re'ei, she'Yisraelu, know that the guy you're running after is a Jew. Uben risu, va'torah amra shovech dam ha'adam ba'adam dam yishafach. So we give him asra, or essentially we tell him, listen, you recognize the guy you're running after is Yisrael, and if you kill him, ultimately again there's a death penalty. Amra Torah. So the Torah says, Hatzel damo shalzeh damo shalzeh. So this seems to be a whole speech that we give to the rodev, essentially telling him, know that what you're about to do is a chiyuv misa, and if you do it, we reserve the right to kill you. So we'll say, so again, this would appear. Now, here's what's interesting about this. What's interesting about this is, if you notice, as much as we are obligated to say this to the rodev is not obligated to acknowledge it. Under normal circumstances, hasra, formal hasra, is comprised of two parts. Number one, a warning, and number two, an acknowledgement of the warning from the offending party. If you notice over here, as much as we say this to the rodev, there is no obligation that the rodev verbally acknowledge this particular statement, which would seem to indicate that what? That there is no din, no formal din of hasra in this case, which would seem to support the idea of Rav Huna that a rodev doesn't need hasra. To which the Gemara says, no, Hahi Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehudi. This actually reflects the view of Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda. The side of Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Chaver ein tzarech hasra, lefish lo nitna hasra el lahavchin mein shogeg umezid. So we'll say this is Rabbi Yossi, because Rabbi Yossi holds that a Chaver Talmud Chacham does not require hasra. Why not? Because we'll say the whole point of hasra is to distinguish between those who are sinning intentionally and unintentionally. I will say, as you're going to see over here, in this particular case, once we go ahead and we make this statement, then what? Then it is clear that Lamaisa, he has a full understanding of the act he is about to commit. Tashma, Rodev Shei, Rodev Achar Chaver Lahargo. If a rodev was running after someone to kill him, to kill him. So the Gemara says, Amarlo, Re'eshi Srahu, Uben Brisu, Vatora Amra Shopech Dama Adam Ba'adam Dama Yishafach, Im Amar Yodea Ani Shuhu Kain. Pater, Amanas Kain Ani Osa Chayiv. So we'll say, so now, according to this price, what happens? The rodef must verbally acknowledge the hasra. So if we say to the rodef, you know you're running after a Jew, a ben bris, and if you kill him, we reserve the right to kill you. Or I should say, we reserve the right to kill you, to prevent you from killing him, and we reserve the right to kill you in the event that you do kill him. And the rodef says, I got it. So if he says, okay, I didn't know this, and he backs off his potter. But if he says, I know it, and I'm still going to kill him anyway, he's chayiv. So you see from here that a rodef does need hasra. The ibri dinara. What's in this case is where, let's say again, the witnesses, the people who are witnessing this event, are on one side of the river, and ultimately again the rodef and the victim or the potential victim are on the other side of the river. So here I will say, I have no ability to stop the rodef from pursuing this act. I have no way of saving the potential victim. So my ikar deboy. So what's my only recourse against the rodef? The isuye lebeidina. Ultimately, again, the only recourse I have therefore then is to take him ultimately to Beis Din. That if the rodef chas v'shalom kills the victim, I have the ability to go ahead and take him to Beis Din. But when it comes to Beis Din beidina, by hasra. See, I will say what we're seeing over here is something very interesting. But let me actually finish this. If I see the other possibilities, Rafuna would say to you, the other will say possibilities. Rafuna says, I hold like the Tana that we saw yesterday, who holds that by definition, when we see someone actively being a rodef against someone else, that in and of themselves, anyone who engages in this behavior understands that it carries with it the penalty of death. If they still choose to go forward with that, that effectively is their hasra. So what comes out from here is something very interesting. What comes out from here, first of all, passing like Rafuna, that a rodef does not require hasra. That's number one. That's how he passes. A rodef does not need hasra. Interestingly enough, the Bryce that seems to indicate that you do have to give hasra is in this very unique case where I see the event unfolding, but have the inability to stop it. What's the example of that? The example of that is I'm on one side of the river and the rodef and the victim are on the other side of the river. I can't stop this. Under those circumstances, the only recourse I will have will be what? To take the rodef to Beis Din. So in that case, the Gemara posits that again, it's in my best interest, so to speak, to give him an asra, because this is ultimately, again, I can go ahead and bring him to Beis Din. Abipashtos, I can bring him to Beis Din, assuming there are two witnesses, even without hasra, and Beis Din can execute him for being a rodef even without hasra. It's just the Gemara saying that the cases where we see hasra by a rodef are dafka in those cases where there is no ability to stop the act in any other way. So the hasra gives me an additional ability to bring him to Beis Din for din. Fine. Type of ayin gimel the Mishnah. The Eilan Shematzilin also Banashah. So this is a very interesting case. So the following is a list of things where if we see a person about to do it, we can kill him in order to stop him from doing it. Okay? So we'll say, so the paradigmatic case of this is I see Ruvain running after Shimon to kill him, so I can kill Ruvain in order to stop him from running after Shimon. Or I see Ruvain running after Shimon, not to kill him, but to violate him, so I can also kill Ruvain to prevent him from engaging in Mishkav Zachar. Or I see Ruvain running after a betrothed girl, and he's going to violate her. I could kill him in order to go ahead and prevent him. And here's what's interesting. The issue over here at play is lav dafka just rape. The issue over here is one of arayas, of one of adultery. If you notice again, the Mishnah doesn't discuss if I see a man about to violate a single girl. So if you notice over here, the Mishnah doesn't include that case. Sounds like again it's lo nita latzil nash. So I want to just qualify. It's very important. This is, you see, today when we understand this type of violence of a man against woman, we understand that inherent in it is sakanas nefashos. There is a sakanas nefashos element. So because of that, again, that would be no different if he was running after to kill her. The Mishnah's understanding that if in technical level you were to have a case where you were to understand the woman's life is not in danger, there's no danger to life. So then in that case, technically, So you would not be able to kill the guy to prevent him from violating the woman. But the Rishonim already bring down, because inherent in these types of cases of sexual violence, that by definition there's a sakanas nefashos. Almost every single one of those cases is going to be nitan latzil nafsho. The Gemara is bringing down arayas cases. So technically speaking, if a man's violating a single woman, there's not an arayas. There's an isser, but it's not an arayos case. As opposed to if he's violating mishkav zach, homosexuality, he's violating araham urasa. These are arayas cases. I could kill him to prevent him from engaging in arayas. We'll say if somebody's running after an animal to go ahead and violate the animal, or one is going ahead and about to machal Shabbos, or someone is about to worship Avodah Zarah, I will say, I can't kill people to prevent them from doing these things. So I could kill a person if I see he's about to kill someone else. I could kill a person if I could see that he's about to engage in mishkav zachar. I could kill someone if I see that he's about to violate an narah me'urasa. But I can't kill him if he's about to be machal Shabbos. I can't kill him if he's about to be an Ovid Avodah Zarah. Or I can't kill him if he's about to engage in bestiality. So both you begin to see a model here. Meaning, it's not just that I could kill someone if they're about to violate one of the cardinal sins. It's I can kill someone if they're about to violate one of the major averos, and there's a negative impact upon another. But if they're about to violate the major avera, but there is no negative impact upon the other, I don't have the right to kill them. Says the Gemara. How do I know that if someone's running after someone else, that I have the right to kill the pursuer? So the Gemara says, Pasuk says, you shall not stand over your friend's blood, which the Gemara is using to indicate to us that again, if I see someone about to kill someone else, I could kill them before they take life. One second. We don't use that pasuk for that drasha. We need that for the following brisa. How do I know that if I see my friend drowning in the river, or I see a wild animal dragging him away, or robbers are coming to go ahead and come upon him, how do I know that I am chayiv to save him? They will say, now this is a much more complicated halachic discussion, right? Which is, again, the Gemara is essentially saying, how do I know that if I see my friend in danger, I am obligated to step in? Talmud Lomar, lo samod al dam re'echa. Pasuk says you cannot stand idly by, you can't stand on your friend's blood, which indicates to me that what? That l'maisa, again, if I see my friend in danger, I have to step in. Now, both say this is a complicated halachic discussion, because this is true. If I see my friend in danger, I'm obligated to step in. The shaila is what? Shaila is what? How much danger am I obligated to put myself in order to save my friend? So Ruvain's drowning. I'm not a good swimmer. Am I obligated to jump in? Wild animals are dragging him away. I don't know. I'm not the bravest of guys. Am I obligated to go and put myself in harm's way of the line? So I'm just pointing out to you this is very apropos, because last night was the Bikur Cholim renewal event about kidney donation. So when kidney donation first came up, today Baruch Hashem the risks are much less. But it was interesting that when these things first came up, there was a lot of halachic discussions about what level of obligation of sakana am I permitted, am I allowed to assume in order to be able to benefit another. So again, we're not getting, say he's going to put this on the list, but we're not getting into this now. Actually, I did this on Shavuos night about 3-4 years ago. We spoke about this topic. Famous, okay, fine. Ve'ela, so Gemara says weiter. Ve'ela nitan la'atzila b'nafshem midalah. So we'll say we use the pasuk of lo saman al dam re'echa to talk about what? That if I see my friend in danger, I have to step in. Where do I learn out the idea that I could kill someone in order to prevent them from killing another? We bring it from a kal v'chomer from na'ara me'urasa. What's the kal v'chomer? So the Gemara says, na'ara me'urasa shlo ba el lepokma. When it comes to na'ara me'urasa, we'll say we assume that the assailant, his intention is not to kill the girl. Rather, his intention is to violate her, and the impact of that violation is the pogma. It blemishes her. We'll say, what does it mean it blemishes her? So on a very just technical, physical level, it ruptures the hymen, which means that she's no longer a basula. Remember, this is not a murasa. This is a girl who is betrothed. She's not married yet. So there is a physical damage to her as a result of this act. Yet, Amra Torah nitan latzila b'nafsho. Yet the Torah says that I could go ahead and I could kill this guy in order to prevent him from violating this nara murasa. So it's like, if I could kill someone to prevent him from violating Nara Murasa, then what? I certainly could kill someone to prevent them from killing another person. To which the Gemara says, one second. But we will say we don't kill people based on kal v'chomer. It's very important. So it's a good thing to remember. We don't kill based on kal v'chomer. So I hear it. It's a compelling argument. But lamaisa, we call in masir min adin. The Gemara says debate Rabbi Tana Hekeshu. So in the Rosh in Yeshiva of Rabbi, they said there's a hekesh. What's the hekesh? Kikai shayakum ishara ilvaratzcho nefesh. So we'll say the pasuk says when a man will rise up another man against another man, the ratzcho nefesh, and he will go ahead and murder him. So we'll say ultimately again, what are we learning out from this particular pasuk? Me'ata hareizeba lelamed v'nimsa lamad. So we'll say it turns out that ultimately again this came to teach, but it turns out that we learned something from. What does that mean? Makish rotzeach l'nara murasa. Well, so the Torah is coming to make a hekesh between rotzeach, the murderer, and nara murasa. Ma nara murasa nitan latzila b'nafsho. Well, so just like an nara murasa, you can kill the assailant to save the girl, right, to prevent her from being abused. Af rotzeach nitan latzila b'nafsho. So to say rotzeach, one is permitted to go ahead and kill him in order to save the potential victim. And so we'll say this is a hekish instead of a kal v'chomer, which we like a little bit better. So the Gemara says, I have nara murasa gufa minalan. Okay, but still, where do you know that nara murasa, that you are permitted to go ahead and kill the assailant in order to save the girl? Okay, determined to be Rabbi Yishmael. Ve'in moshiala. The pasuk by the nara murasa says that there was no one to save her. She was violated because there was no one to save her. What do we see from here? Hayesh Moshiach b'chol davar shiachol shia. What do you see from here? The fact that the Torah says that this happened to the girl because there was no one to save her indicates to us what? That if there was someone there to save her, they should save her. And how should they save her? By any means at their disposal. Therefore, you see from here that you could save an Ara Murasa even by killing the assailant. So Gemara says, Gufa, Minayin Luras Chaner Shetare Banar Ochaya Gorarto Listin Boinalov Shuchayev Lo Tzilo Latzilo. Supposed to say, back to the advice we said before. How do I know that if I see my friend drowning, or I see a wild animal dragging him away, or listim, or robbers are coming upon him, how do I know that I am obligated to save him? I'm obligated mamish to save him. Talmud Lomar Lo Samod Aldam Re'echa. So the pasuk says ultimately again that you are not permitted to stand on your friend's blood. We'll say, remind me, if we have 2 minutes at the end of this year, I'll tell you a Tzitz Eliezer. Just remind me Tzitz Eliezer about this Gemara, which is amazing. So ultimately again, I'll say, do we learn this out from here? In other words, do we learn out this idea that you can't go ahead and watch your friend in mortal danger and not step in? Do we learn that out from the Samar al Damreacha? So most of do we learn it out from here? We learn it out from elsewhere. Avedas Gufo Minayim. They will say, how do I know that if my friend is about to lose his body? So Avedas Gufo means if my friend is in mortal danger, how do I know that I'm obligated to step in? If you look at Rashi, Rashi says Avedas Gufo, Kigo Nit, it's almost right across in Rashi. Kigo Nitba Bahar Minay Shata Mitzada Ala Shavasa. Both said the same way that I'm obligated to return my friend's lost object. How do I know that if he's about to lose his life, I'm obligated to step in and return that to him? Talmud Lomar, v'hasheboso lo. Because both said the pasuk says, you shall return it to him. Hasheboso lo. Rashi says, v'hasheboso lo, kro yisiru lamanu v'hasheves gufo la'atzmos. Both said, listen to this. The Gemara says, the pasuk says the following. This is by Hashavas Aveda, returning lost objects. So the pasuk says, lo karov achicha elecha, below Yedato, if your friend is not near you, or you don't know who the owner of the object is, you'll take the object into your home, and it'll be with you until your brother seeks it out, and then you'll return it to him. So we'll say that last phrase, is totally extra. You don't need it. So the Gemara learns out from here, what does Hashevosolo teach me? If the first part of the pasuk is teaching me about my friend's object, Vashevosolo teaches me about my friend's life. That if my friend's life is in danger and I have the ability to step in and help, I must do so. So the Gemara says, so what do you see from here? You don't learn this out from those Samar al Dam Reacha. Rather, you learn out from Vashev Solo. Ime Hasan, if you learn out from there, Hava min Hanamili bin Afshe. So it's like, if you want to learn out from Vashev Solo, I would have said like this. If I have the ability to save my friend, then I have the obligation to step in. About Mitrach Umegar Agure, but we'll say, what happens if I can't save my friend? But you know what? So Reuven's drowning. I don't know how to swim. I can't save him. But it happens to be that Shimon, who's an experienced lifeguard, is standing right next to me. I say, Shimon, can you save Reuven? And Shimon says, $20. Right? I say, how do I know that I'm obligated to pay Shimon in order to go? So we'll say, I would have, I'm sorry, let me say it differently. So just in the pasuk of Hashem Osolo, I would have thought that I have an obligation to save Reuven when possible, but I don't have an obligation to hire people, right, to pay money to save Reuven. Kamash Malono, the pasuk teaches me, Lo Samod Al Dam Reacha, that even if I can't save him, but I have the ability to go ahead and hire someone who can save him, that I have the obligation to do so. Tanabanon, Echad Harod, Echad Chavir the Hargo, Echad Zachar, Bachar Zachar, Bachar Nara Murasa, the Achar Chaybe Misos Bezin, the Achar Chaybe Krisos, Matzilin Oso Benafsho. So listen to this Braisa. So if I see Reuven running after Shimon to kill him, or running after Shimon to violate him, or running after Nara Murasa to violate her, or listen to these cases, or I go ahead and I see Reuven running after someone who he's going to violate, and that relationship is punishable either by kares or by a misas bezdin. In all of these cases, I have the right to kill Reuven to prevent him from violating these isurim. Amar lekohen gadol, grusha vechalutza lekohen hedyot. We'll say if I see a kohen about to marry a grusha, I can't kill the kohen. Or I see a kohen about to marry a chalutza, right? Then ultimately, again, I can't kill the kohen. Even though, again, he's about to violate an isser, I can't kill him in order to prevent him from violating this isser. Ne'evda ba'avera. We'll say, so what happens again if, let's say, the people in question over here, we'll define the scope of this case. But let's say, again, the woman with whom the individual, Reuven, is about to commit an avera, has already engaged in a previous act of relations with this same man, then what? Ein matzilin oso b'nafsho. We can't kill him in order to prevent him from violating her again. Again, we'll define the scope of that in just a little bit. Yesh la Moshia, we'll say ein matzilin oso b'nafsho. Now, this is actually interesting. So if you look at Rashi for just a moment, Rashi says, actually, I'm sorry, not yet. Yesh la Moshia, ein matzilin oso b'nafsho, which bepashtus means if there's another way to neutralize the threat without killing the guy, you can't kill him. As we'll say, as much as you have a license to kill in some of these cases, if there's another way to take care of the issue, to prevent him from harming another without killing him, then that's highly preferable. Rabbi Yehuda says, Af ha'omeres hanichalo shelo yahargena. Supposed to listen to this. Rabbi Yehuda says, what happens if a woman is about to be violated by a man, and she sees that I'm there ready to kill the guy to prevent him from violating her. And she says, no, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Just let him perform the act and be done. So we'll say again, we'll discuss exactly what this means. Look at Rashi for just a moment. How meres lematzilin harot v'nacharav hanichalo v'al tirdefu acharav shelo yahargena kodem shetasigu. What she's concerned about is that maybe he's going to kill her before we have a chance to kill him. So she cries out, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Just let him perform the act and be done, because I don't want to risk my own life. Rabbi Yehuda says, we listen to her. So so we'll say, where do we learn? Again, we're going to define all of these cases in greater depth. Where do we know this from? So Amakra, so the pasuk says again, both say, if the girl is violated, if the Nara Muras is violated, so we'll say, so obviously she has no punishment. We don't do anything to her. There is no death penalty for the Na'ara HaMe'urasa who was violated by the man. So we'll say the Gemara understands this pasuk is worded in a very strange way. Na'ar, so we'll say the Gemara sees alluded to in this pasuk all the different isurim. So Na'ar ze zocher. So we'll say Na'ar refers to if a man is about to violate another man. Na'ara zu Na'ara Murasa. This ultimately again we'll say refers to Na'ara Murasa. Chet, who does Chet refer to? Elu chaybe krisos. This refers to relationships punishable by kares. Maves elu chaybe misos bezdin. Maves also refers to those relationships punishable by misas bezdin. Kol hani lamali. So we'll say the pasuk is telling me in any of these cases, if I see a man about to violate any of these isurim, I can what? I can kill him to prevent him ultimately again from violating the isurim. So the Gemara says, Kol hani lamali. Why do I need all of these examples? So I'll tell you why the Gemara says tzrichi. Because of Rachmana Nar, I would have thought about say if Torah had just told me that if I see a man about to violate another man, I could kill him before he engages in the act of homosexuality. Mishum delav orche. Because I will say this is unnatural. Aval nara the orche emalo. When a man violates someone, I will say as much as the act is prohibited, but again, the act is one of a normative act. It's a normative act of relations. Maybe I don't have the right to kill the individual before he violates the girl. Because of Rachmana Nara Mishum the Kapagim law. And we say, what is just the case? Nara Murasa. I could kill him. Why? Because he literally physically damages her. Aval Na'ar Delo Kapagim Emalo. But if he's going to violate another man, I will say there's no physical damage, so to speak. So maybe I can't kill him because of Rachmana Hani. And if the Torah would have just said these cases, I will say Amadays Mishum Tahai Lav Orchehu. Because I will say the case of Nar, the case of Mishkav Zachar, is not normal. It's unnatural. Vaha kapagim. In the case of Na'ara, ultimately again he's damaging her. Aval sharas, I will say in other cases of arayos, the archaihu, their normative act of relations, so to speak, below nafish pigamayu, and they will say there's not really damage in these cases. Imalo, I would have thought that perhaps I can't kill the pursuer before he goes ahead and he does these things. Therefore, again, kasav rachmana chait. Therefore, I will say the pasuk comes along and writes chait in order to teach him about these cases. Because of rachmana chait. Hava Amina Afilu Chayve Lavin. And if Torah would have just said Chayt, I would have thought that if I see a man about to engage in an act of relations, punishable by a lav, we'll say that'd be a case of what? Kohen Gadol marrying a grusha. No, excuse me, a Kohen marrying a grusha. Right? So I would have thought maybe again I could kill the Kohen before he does that. Because of Rachmana Maves. Therefore, we'll say the pasuk says no, it has to be something punishable by death. Because of Rachmana Maves. Hava Amina Chayve Misos based in Chayve Krisos lo. Well, saying if Torah just said Maves, I would have thought that it's only relationships punishable by Misas based in, but Chayve Krisos. I will say perhaps again you can't kill the guy. Therefore, Kasav Rachmana Chait. Therefore, the pasuk says Chait. V'lichtov Rachmana Chait Maves v'lo boy Na'ar v'Na'ara. So we'll say just like the pasuk write Chait and Maves, which would tell you any relationship punishable by what? Misas based in or Karis. You could kill the guy before he does it. And then I don't need nar and na'ara, because we'll say, what does nar refer to? Na'ar refers to any homosexual relationship. Na'ara refers to na'ara ha'me'urasa, which will say are cases punishable by death, by misas basin or kares. So just say chait and mabes, and I don't need nar and na'ara. Enachinamin, you're right. Ve'ela nar na'ara, chad le'me'ute avodas, oved avodas kochavim. So we'll say one of them is to exclude, I will say that if I see a case, Ruvain is about to worship an idol. So I would have thought that maybe I could kill Ruvain to prevent him from worshiping idols. Kamash Malon, no. That I can't go ahead. This I could prevent him from doing things which carry with them a chi of misa and negatively impact another. But if what he's doing carries with it a chi of misa, but it doesn't negatively impact other. So if I see Ruvain about the chazer on Yom Kippur chas v'shalom. So that's horrible. It's terrible as a chi of Nisa on that, but I can't kill him to prevent him from doing that. I can't kill him to prevent him from worshiping Avodah Zarah. So we'll say another one is coming to exclude what? If I see him about to engage in an act of bestiality, usher, punishable by death, but because it doesn't impact another, well, it's not going to make the PETA people happy, right? But again, because it doesn't impact another, again, I can't kill him. Same thing with Chilul Shabbos. I see about the Mechal Shabbos, I will say. Isser D'Oraisa, potential Chi of Misa, I can't kill him. But I will say, according to Rashi Shema who says that if I see a Jew about to worship Avodah Zarah, I can kill him to prevent him from doing so. So we'll say, so we'll say, what do I need the pasuk of nar for? So what does nar come to teach you? Because also remember, according to what we just said, nar comes to exclude, I can kill someone who is about to violate another man. I can't kill someone who's about to worship Avodah Zarah. According to Shema Yochai, who says, I can kill someone who is about to worship Avodah Zarah. So what do I do with the word nar? was that one comes to exclude an act of bestiality, that if I see Reuben about to engage in bestiality, I cannot go ahead and kill him to prevent him from doing so. And the other word, nara, comes to exclude, I can't go ahead and kill someone to prevent them from being mechalel Shabbos. I would have thought the following: Tisi Shabbos, mechilu chilu me'avodos kochavim. I might have thought that Lamaisa, again, I'm going ahead and making a gzera shava of chilu from avodos kochavim and Shabbos, to which the Gemara says, Rabbi Eliezer, so Saganat Kamino, Tisi Shabbos, mechilu chilu me'avodos kochavim. I might have thought that I would have learned out Shabbos from a gzera shava, ultimately again of chilu, which would have said that what? Which would have said that ultimately again, I can go ahead and kill the individual to prevent them from going ahead and committing this act. Well, Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimdar, Mechal, Asa Shabbos, Tilatzil, Benafsho. So according to the opinion, it says that what? That I could go, according to Rabbi Shimon Elazar, who says, Rabbi Shimon, who says that if somebody's about to Mechal Shabbos, I can go ahead and take their life in order to prevent them from doing so. The Asya Shabbos, Michilu Chilu Me'avodos Kochavim, my Ikalameh. So we'll say, what is there to say? Chad Miyut Mi'ut Behema. So we'll say, one Miyut is coming to exclude an act of bestiality, that I can't kill someone to prevent them from engaging in an act of bestiality. V'ilach, I need the Kasav Rachmana Na'ar, Kasav Rachmani Na'ar, Nami Na'ara. So we'll say, the other opinion will say that since the Torah wrote Na'ar, just to preserve what we'll call textual symmetry, so it wrote Na'ara as well. Fine. So Gemara goes like, Yehuda Omer, Af HaOmeres Hanichu Li Shlo Yagen. So also, remember again, Rabbi Yehuda quoted the following case. Rabbi Yehuda's case was one where what? The woman is about to be violated. We stand ready to kill the individual, the attacker, but she says, leave him alone. I don't want to get killed in this process. I'm scared that if you try to kill him, he's going to kill me, so leave him alone. So remember again, Rabbi Yehuda said in that case, we will honor the wishes of the woman and we will not kill the attacker. So the Gemara says, so we'll say, the fact that Rabbi Yehuda says that indicates to us that what? That the Rabbanon don't hold that way. That the Rabbanon would say that if we see a man attacking a woman, even if she says, no, don't kill him, leave him alone, I'm afraid that if you try to kill him, he's going to kill me, that we don't listen to her and we kill the guy. So we see a fundamental machlokes about what happens. It also is a very profound case. What happens when the potential victim says, please do not kill the attacker. I'm worried that if you try to kill him, he's going to kill me. Rabbi Yehuda says we listen to the woman. Rabbi Abbanan said we don't listen to the woman, we kill the attacker. So what are they arguing about? Amar Rava, b'makpedes al pigma umanichaso shlo yahargenu. So what Rava says, what are we arguing about? We're arguing about, over here, look at Rashi. B'makpedes al pigma, said across from Gilyon Hashas. Di'i b'she'ina makpedes lo chamir rabbanan lemikdalei mishum aveirot lo chamir me'avodos kol b'shabbos. So we'll say the case over here is where it's clear to us, we'll say, that she is in incredible distress about what is about to happen to her, which is obvious. Umanichaso shelo yahargenu, but yet she tells us not to kill them. So we'll say, meaning this will distinguish between different types of cases, because we'll discuss about cases of a person we'll define it in the Gemara. So the idea here is we see it's clear to us that she is distressed over what is happening, but yet she's giving us instructions not to kill the attacker. So the Rabbanan say, so we see over here that the Torah is concerned for her honor, and therefore again, she's concerned with her honor as well. We see that, and therefore again, we have a license to kill the attacker, even though she's telling us not to. Rabbi Yehuda will say, so we'll say, Rabbi Yehuda says differently. Rabbi Yehuda says, the reason why the Torah tells us that we're permitted to kill a man who we see is about to violate a woman is because what are we concerned about? That a woman may give her life sooner than be violated. So this is not just an issue. This is an issue of sakanas nefashos. So because issue of sakanas nefashos, we say kill the attacker. And we'll say in this case over here, halo masar afshal katla. Here she's telling us, I'm not giving my life. I'm gonna let it happen. And I'm asking you not to kill the guy. So because there's no concern that she's going to give her life in this circumstance, therefore what? Halo masar afshal katla. Therefore, because we're not concerned she's going to give her life, therefore again we have no license to kill the attacker. Amalei Papa Labai, Sabai, Papa says Sabaye, Amara the Kohen Gadol, Nami Kapagim La. But I will say ultimately again, in the case of an Amara to a Kohen Gadol, ultimately again, she is also quote unquote damaged. I was supposed to say from that act of relations, although she's not physically damaged, she's damaged again in a status fashion. She becomes a halala. Both say in cases where there's a license to kill the attacker because he damages the woman, that type of damage also has to be something substantive, and really what the Gemara is saying is physical. The fact that an act of relations will damage a woman's status does not give us the license to go ahead and kill the attacker. But if her person is going to be damaged, if she's going to suffer physical damage, then that ultimately gives us the right and the ability ultimately to kill her attacker. Now, both say, this is a very profound one about what happens in a case of where a woman is being attacked and she gives us explicit instructions. Please do not touch the attacker. Leave it alone. Let the act occur. I'm afraid that my life is in danger. Rabbi Yehuda says, we listen to her. We listen to her. That's her instructions. Rabbanan say we ignore her. We'll say, how do we paskin? We paskin like the Rabbanan, that we ignore her. We ignore her and we kill the attacker. Now the reason for that goes back to what we said back in the Mishnah, which is what they're both saying, that it's understood inherent in these cases is sakanas nefashos. That she might think that there's no danger to her life right now, that as soon as the attacker violates her, that the threat is over. We know, again, we know that in any case of violence, it doesn't matter physical or sexual, there's always an element of sakanas nefashos. Therefore, the Rabbanan, essentially, I will say the psychology of this is, the Rabbanan would assume she may not understand the true nature of this threat. She may think it's about one thing, but doesn't understand her life is in fact in peril. And therefore, again, the Rabbanan paskin that even if she says leave the guy alone, we have the right ultimately to kill him as a so stop over here. Tzitz Eliezer, very quickly. Tzitz Eliezer, very, very quickly. So also listen to this. Going back to the idea of lo samar adam reyacha, that you can't stand idly by. So we'll say this idea. So the Tzitz Eliezer he actually discusses this by kidney donation. Again, very apropos. Discusses a kidney donation, and essentially, getting into kidney donation, he discusses that essentially you can put your life at risk for someone else when what? When at the end of the day, the risk, he says, is not more than 51%. He gives that type of lashon. He says, what about, so how could soldiers put themselves at risk for one another in the battlefield? He says, so speaking about the IDF, he says, which I think is true in most militaries, he says, like the Israel Defense Forces operates with the principle of no man left behind. You can't leave anyone. We won't even leave a corpse. You don't leave anyone or anything behind. How can you do that if you're putting yourself in such active sakana? So he says something amazing. He says, the morale of an army is only preserved if everyone knows that they have each other's back. Meaning, if a soldier goes into battle and he says that the guy next to me is only going to put himself at risk for me if he's at 51% possibility of survival, an army can't operate like that. An army only can operate if everyone knows that the other is willing to give their life for that other. So he says, whereas the threshold for lo samar adam reyacha, under normal circumstances, the halacha only permits you to go ahead and put yourself in danger for someone else. If you don't put yourself in acute danger, the one exception to that ultimately, again, is in an army setting where one is obligated to actively give their life for the other, because that's the only way that the morale of the army is ultimately preserved. And I will say again, so together we're all on the battlefield of life together. We're all on the battlefield of life together. Ultimately, again, not to sound too Lubavitch, but we're all Mitzvah Hashem together, right? At the end of the day, we're all one army. We're all one family. We're all which is a lot to speak about this idea of needing to give to one another in acute ways. The need to make need to make one another feel confident. The need to know, we'll say, the greatest feeling is when the person next to you will do anything and everything to help you throughout life. Again, not necessarily if you're getting dragged away from a wild animal. I don't know that I'm the guy to help you out, but I would. I'll say, but that's that's what it is. You have to le'reacha kamocha. To know that the person next to you, the Jew next to you, your brother, your sister is going to be willing to give anything and everything to be able to help you out through the ma'amakim, through the narrow straits of life. But I say that's what it means not only to be part of an army, but that's what it means ultimately to be part of it now.